The gods that killed your family have unleashed hell on Earth.
Hercules, starring Dwayne Johnson, otherwise known as The Rock, is based on the Radical Comics Hercules by Steve Moore. This ensemble action film is a revisionist take on the classic Hercules. So we had another Hercules movie released earlier this year.
Yeah.
Is this one?
Oh, this one's much better. Yeah, much better. No, that's not saying it's a great movie, but yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We're not talking Oscars here or anything, but this is a fun movie to go to. I think it's a movie that knows what it is, right? So you've got The Rock, you've got the action. You know, The Rock gets to take full advantage of his muscles and his sense of humor, and I thought it was a really fun watch.
So how is The Rock?
He's really good, and like I said, he's kind of at home in this kind of movie where he gets to be an action star, but it's also done by a guy named Brett Ratner, who's a director that very much puts a lot of humor in his action. His first big movie was Rush Hour back in the day, if you remember that one.
I do remember Rush Hour.
Jackie Chan. So it's got, you know, kind of the action, but there's also kind of this quirky sense of humor through it that's kind of funny. And
that looks cool.
Yeah, and it does look cool. And here's what's the neat thing about this Hercules movie is it takes Hercules and puts him in a true life story. So it takes the legend and says, okay, what if this legend was a real person? And kind of looks at that and what that might mean and how that looks.
Yeah, is it humorous at all? I know it's rating PG-13.
Yeah, the PG-13 rating is for the violence mostly, and that is something I would say it actually kind of pushes that line a little bit. So if you've got kids, you may want to preview it first. I was actually surprised at how much violence was in this for PG-13, but that seems to be the trend these days. So
that the rating is getting.
Yeah, they're getting a little more lenient with violence, even maybe not with other stuff, but yeah, they seem to not mind the action-style violence in PG-13 movies.
Okay, so give us the best thing and final grade on this one.
Sure, yeah, best thing, I said Freedom Rock. The Rock has the freedom to be who he is in this movie, and I think that means that he does a really good job. As far as worst thing, I said the scrawny plot. That's the weakness with this movie, is there's really not a lot going on underneath, and if there is, you kind of see where it's going, so there's not a lot there. Overall, still pretty good. I said a B-. All
right, B-. On to the next one, Lucy. Scarlett Johansson stars in the action thriller that tracks a woman who accidentally caught in a dark deal, turns the tables on her captors, transforms into a warrior. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, the transformation of Scarlett Johansson in this from kind of a human being to something that defies logic. This is an interesting movie because it's one of those movies you walk out and you're just thinking about, right? So you walk out and you're processing what did it mean. The director's a guy named Luc Besson, and he's made several of these movies that have female action hero leads, like Scarlett is in this one. But he also makes movies where he's not afraid to think about, you know, who God is, or, you know, what who man is, or how we evolve, or all those kind of different things, and all of that is here. Now, the trick to this is sometimes when you're making an action movie, you need to just make an action movie, and this movie kind of, especially towards the end, becomes just a thinking movie. So if you're thinking going to see, man, I'm going to go see Scarlett Johansson in this action movie and she's going to be amazing, yeah, you get that, but it kind of transforms into something else by the end, and you may be a little bit disappointed.
So can you follow it, or is it too philosophical?
Good question. I think it's too philosophical at points. And that's okay for me because I don't mind something that makes me think that I can't necessarily figure out where it's going.
Right.
A movie that kind of leaves it out there so that you get to process it and kind of decide what it means. You know, part of it feels kind of like a scientific treatise on evolution and on what that means and what that means in humanity. Part of it feels like an exploration of what God is and how that works in the universe. But you never really get a full sense for what he's trying to say in this. And if you're okay with that, then you'll like it. If you're not, again, you'll be disappointed.
Right. Okay, so best, worst, and final grade on this one?
Yeah, I said best thing about this was the ScarJo mojo. Scarlett Johansson is absolutely...
How long did it take you to come up with that?
At least 5 seconds. No, she is amazing in this, and her performance, there are some moments in this, some emotional moments in this where you can tell this is one of our best actresses working today. She's incredible in this. As far as worst thing, I said the mind games, like we talked about, it does get a little complex, and because it focuses on that, there may be some disappointment there if you're looking to see just a straight up action movie. Overall, still a really good movie. I said a B.
Very nice. All right, thanks, Aaron Dicer, your movie friend. More reviews from him on all the movies that are out at ky3.com, right?
That is correct.
Right.
There's several others out this week that you might want to check out.
Up next, Jeremy Rave is here with an easy-to-make craft that will keep your kids entertained during those long summer road trips.